We're in the building. This is The Beat London. I'm Lukan Online, and I'm here in the building with my special guest, and he goes by the name of
Thelonious, hailing from Rexdale in Toronto.
I can't even hear you. Go again.
It's Thelonious. It's Thelonious here with you. Thank you for having me today.
There we go. Thelonious in the building.
Sir.
From all the way from Toronto.
From Toronto, Rexdale to be exact.
So is that so specific? So what's, okay, all right, cool. So you know what? I've just come back from Canada.
Okay.
Last year, so not just come back.
Got you, heard you.
But I went for the first time ever. It's actually quite nice there, and I was actually I was in Scarborough.
Ah, really?
How far is that from where?
That's real far. That's the other side.
Fair enough.
The food is better on my side, though. Just remember that next time.
But still, just as expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening with the food over in Canada, by the way? What's the deal there? Because everyone's complaining that it's the most expensive food in the world.
Really?
People, have you not? Everyone must have seen this. The reports everywhere that you can't afford to eat in Canada because it's so expensive now.
Oh, like grocery? Yeah. It's bad.
Why?
Bad.
What's happening with it?
I might be the wrong person to ask. I just know it's just bad. It's really bad.
Okay, cool. So let's get a bit of background, and you tell people about your starting life, like what you did growing up, and what kind of child were you? Were you naughty?
Sir.
Were you in trouble a lot? Were you good? Were you
a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. Well, okay. So I grew up in Rexdale, like I said.
Yeah.
I actually grew up in a very musical household.
Okay.
My pops was a keys player, plays pretty much everything, and my mom, she sang in a gospel group in Canada. So music was always in the house. Yeah. At first, I wanted to be a hooper and make the NBA and be the greatest ever. Yep. That did not happen.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot when I'm lying to the ladies, so we're gonna say 6 foot.
Okay, cool. All right, fair. We'll leave it there. Okay, right.
Shout out 6 foot. You know, shout out my 6 foot people.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you wanted to be, but it didn't really work out because why? You weren't good enough.
Yeah. I don't like to say it out loud, but yeah. Fair. It still hurts.
All right. So what was Plan B?
Plan B was music. Plan B was music.
It was always music. Plan B as a plan.
Yeah. I started doing it when I was 9. Like I found rap when I was 9. And when I was 16, I decided this is what I wanted to do, and I went at it, did everything I could to make the dream happen, and here we are.
So what is it like growing up in, let's say, a Canadian school in terms of the music? So like over here there's a lot of people in like cyphers in school, so they're all rapping together doing the grime. I don't know how familiar you are with grime and stuff like that. A little bit. And in American schools, I don't know, but I'm assuming there's a lot of rap like cliques and all the rest of it like that.
Maybe.
In Canada, what is it like?
It's not as much rap. I feel like it's a lot of dancehall. I think that's like probably the most popular thing. Okay. There's a bit of rap. Yeah. I think our local rap scene at times is like a little different, but honestly, right now, we got some special rappers coming up. Okay, like who? Names them.
Thelonious for one. Of course. So cool.
I'll say shout out to Claremont II. Shout out to Kodo and For the Tribe.
We're not doing your friends. We're doing the guys that you think that we should look out for.
Trust me. Claremont II. Yeah. I don't even really know him that well personally. He's dope, and I'd say For the Tribe for sure.
Okay, cool. Who did you grow up on listening to?
Me? Oh man. There was a lot of everything. There was a lot of jazz just because of who my parents were, and a lot of gospel. Yeah. But my introduction to hip hop when I was around 9 was Biggie from my dad, Pac. I just listened to everything my dad listened to, which was a lot of oldies, and my sister too. Yeah. My first favorite rapper was Tyga, because that's what my sister used to listen to. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
And I'm very much not making that kind of music, but that was my first favorite rapper.
So I'm surprised, because I was going to ask, what was it like growing up listening to music growing up in a gospel household? Because sometimes there's limits on the type of music that you can listen to. So mum tried to put like stops on some of my music, because I grew up listening to like Ice Cube, and she was like, no.
Yeah, fair enough.
And there's a song that I used to love called Nappy Dugout. If you check it out,
Got you.
You'll understand why my mum didn't like it. So I thought that maybe there's a chance that, being that you grew up in that household, there might be, you might have to sneak off and listen to a little bit of rap. But they were okay with it. They were fine.
Maybe a little bit with my mom, because she just wasn't really into that. But my dad, not as much. My dad showed me everything, and he taught me how to play an instrument a little bit when I was a kid. My dad was very much just, whatever you love to do, you do that, and I'll support you.
Yeah, cool. So what instruments can you play?
I could play a little bit of keys, just because of my dad. Like when I was a kid, he played in the gospel band at church, and sometimes he would teach me a little line at home, and then I'll be playing with my toys while he's playing, and he would just be like, yo, come to the piano, play that thing I taught you when I count to 3, and it will work, and I'll be like, oh.
Do you remember it all?
I still play a little bit. I don't remember the stuff he was teaching me when I was a kid, but I play a little bit now.
Okay. Anything else that you can play instrument? That's it.
I wish I could play more.
No, because I'm trying to teach myself the piano. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I bought myself, and people call it a keyboard. It's not. It's an electric piano. So don't like it. It gets me upset.
Don't call it that, y'all.
Don't call it a keyboard. It's an electric piano. It's got weighted keys. But anyway, so I bought myself one. Fairly expensive. I thought if I spend this money on it, I'm gonna want to get my money's worth. So I bought a proper one. Yeah, don't use it. Not at all.
Got you. But
I want to learn. So
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen
one of these days.
Or I'm gonna die. One of the two. One of them's gonna happen. So so if you were to, let's say, make a beat yourself, could you do the piano? Could you do the keys for your own song?
I do sometimes. Yeah. My producer Cabby 96 is in the building. He does most of my beats for me, but or we collaborate.
Starboy.
Yeah, the Starboy. Yep. That's what we call him. But every once in a while I have keys on one of my joints.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So growing up, you at about 16, you decided that's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. At 16, you hadn't recorded anything yet.
Nah, I tried one day. It was terrible. Yeah. It was bad. Yeah.
Do you remember your first ever rap?
Oh man, no, I don't.
Is that your way of saying I do, but I don't want to speak?
Yeah, low-key, yeah. I do remember my first rap, but let's not do that.
Yeah, so you started rapping. Did you start off in a group or were you solo?
I was solo.
Okay. And your other friends, were they rapping as well?
Yeah, they were. Actually, no, that's a lie. I was in a duo with me and my friend when I first started, when I was like 9.
Yeah.
And we used to enter into rap battles when we were like 9 years old. On this like
in school or?
Nah, this was in like this app, like this worldwide app.
Yeah.
I remember my goal was to, as a 9-year-old, be like the top 500 because they had this leaderboard.
Yeah.
I got to like 530 something, and then they discontinued the app, and I was heartbroken. But we started out doing rap battles online.
So do you call it junior school? Is it junior school you call it?
We call it elementary school.
Oh, elementary
school.
And you go to high school.
And then elementary, middle, and then high school.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So in high school, you finish at what age?
High school, you finish at 18.
At 18. So in high school is when you actually started to really rap.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when you started rapping, now, what was your status like in school? Were you like, okay, that's the guy over there? Like, oh, did no one care?
I didn't tell anybody.
Oh, really?
I didn't tell anybody I wanted to rap until I like came out and started to like really chase it.
Okay.
When I was like 19 years old, and everyone was like, "Yo, like," because I was good, and I never told anybody.
Yeah. Okay. So you first performed at what age?
19.
At 19?
Yeah.
Did you actually invite people, or did you say, no one's gonna know? Like, yeah.
The first time I performed, so I had crippling stage fright when I was younger.
Yeah.
So when I was 19, that's just when I had the gusto to do it.
Yeah.
I did it like so far out of my town. This town called Peterborough, which is like super far outside of Toronto. Sorry.
Yeah.
So no one I knew could have been there, but it was a big moment for me at least.
So how'd you get over that? Because it's important, because a lot of people will hear from artists like you and have the same issues. How'd you get over your stage fright?
Really, it was just doing it. The 1 year that, for all the basketball fans out there, the year that the Raptors won the playoffs.
That year.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to the Raptors.
No idea.
The year that the Raptors won the playoffs, that day, I rapped in front of my friends for the first time. They were freestyling, and I was like, "Y'all are trash," and they're like, "You rap then," and I was like, "Bet." And I did it. It was in front of 2 of my friends.
Yeah.
They loved it. I did it in front of like 10 of my friends the next time, and then I just got on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not that scary at all. So I kind of eased myself into it, I guess.
So you just got over it just like that?
Basically, forced myself out of it.
Okay, fair. Any of your friends that you grew up with, any of them rapping now?
Nah, I think I'm the only one, especially in my neighborhood. I think I'm one of the only ones coming up doing it.
Are you now known in your neighborhoods? When they see you, they know you're the rap guy?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
So you go to your local supermarket, wherever it might be. Okay.
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
You're recognized? Did you get stopped for pictures yet? Is that happening?
No, that would be dope. No.
Okay, it's coming. Don't worry, it's happening.
It's happened a couple times, but not often enough for me to say like it happens. You know?
Okay, cool. So outside of the music, so you do a lot of you spend a lot of time in the studio as most people will. But when you just want to unwind, chill out with the family, with friends, what are you doing?
I'm a big movie and TV person. I just be watching Netflix.
What are you watching at the moment?
Yo, since we got here, we have not gone out to see the sights one time. We've just been watching Top Boy since I got here, because I've never watched it.
What do you think about it?
I love it, actually.
I'm surprised, because in Canada it's very, very UK. There's a UK feel to Canada.
Yeah.
So I would have genuinely thought that you would have seen Top Boy ages ago.
Everyone else has watched it and everyone else loves it. I'm just late. I'm just super late.
Why?
It's one of those where I watched, like, you know when you watch the first episode of a show and it's like, it's not grabbing me, and then you just never end up going back to it.
Yeah.
It was that.
Yeah.
But then I really sat through and watched it. I'm like, yo, this is hard. I love it. Yeah.
Do you understand the lingo and everything?
I do. Ours is actually kind of similar.
It is very similar, yeah. Similar. But sometimes with the way they speak, like I speak fast apparently, and I know I do. But apparently, like, because in the UK we might speak fast or speak with a certain accent, you don't really catch it, but you don't struggle with that at all?
No, not at all.
Because Americans saying, why is he saying? I don't get it, like whatever, and it's like, what are you saying? What? I don't get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I understand it. I think we're just a little more harsh with our, like our accent is a little more harsh, but it's very similar actually.
To
the UK slang.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say so, personally. Yeah.
The slang is, the accent isn't.
The accent is not.
Yeah, no.
But I understand the accent.
Yeah, okay, fair. All right, it's about, so you like a little bit of Netflix. Have you seen The Penguin yet? It's not on Netflix, but have you seen The Penguin?
No, I haven't.
I have to watch that proper. It came when I thought, nah, this looks rubbish for the first, but then I watched it.
It's dope?
Trust me.
I'm going to watch that.
So if you take anything away from London, I told you to watch The Penguin.
Okay. All right, I got you.
So how long have you been in London for?
Maybe a week now. About a week.
What's the purpose?
We're gonna do some recording. Just getting the music out there. I've never been out here. So a little bit of sightseeing. Like
okay.
I
have to do it. Where are you staying? Be very.
We are in.
Not too specific.
Hendon, I believe is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay, sorry to hear that. But there's other places that you can visit anyway, so you'll be fine. Yeah. When are you planning on going sightseeing?
So at some point, I think we're planning on going sightseeing tomorrow. Actually, yeah.
Do you know where you're going to be going? You got any idea? You got a plan?
Central London.
Okay,
that's
cool.
it.
Going at night time with the lights.
We went out. Well, technically, we went out like yesterday. I think we went to Soho House.
Okay.
All right. We went there.
All right, bougie. Come on.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
That's on one time.
So you're going to be out here. Are you doing any recording? Meeting up with any artists?
A little bit. Artists. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Like, pinning down everyone's schedule is another thing.
You got to link up with some UK artists. You got to do that.
Shout out to Kofi Stone though.
Obviously, come on. How did that come about? By the way,
it was good. So I got linked to Cabby actually linked up with a producer out here called Rebel Clef. This was like a while ago.
Yeah.
And we've been tapped in ever since. Shout out to Rebel Clef. He's a great dude. And we had this song and we were looking for someone to hop on it, and he told us about Kofi Stone. We reached out. Great dude. He was very easy to get in touch with. Yep. And he loved the song, so cool. It was pretty organic from that point.
You know, I think it's a good time to actually play the song. Tell me about the song, what inspired it. So I'm assuming you wrote it without him in mind, and then he jumped on afterwards. So what's the song about? What inspired it?
The whole project to me is about family. It's just about the phenomenon of one, chasing a dream to feed your family, but as a side effect of that, you lose so much time with them today. So this point on the project, when forever happens, is me coming home for Thanksgiving or whatever holiday you have where you finally come home and see your family.
Yep.
And you just realize that no matter where you go or how long you're gone, they'll love you forever. Yep. So that's what this song's about.
What's your plans for Christmas? Seeing that we've got all this tinsel around us.
Yeah, spend some time with family. Yeah. That's what the whole project's about. So I definitely got to do that. I got to live by my words.
Fair. What do you normally do Christmas? Like, what is it? What is Christmas for you? Like, what do you normally do?
I'm from a big Jamaican black family, so we all get together and we eat Jamaican food. And
who cooks?
My grandma and my mom.
Can you cook?
A little bit. Not as good as them.
That sounds like a no to me. It definitely sounds like a no to me. Can you actually cook though? If you were to be,
I can cook a little bit. I can cook a little bit.
Right, cool.
I'm just lazy. That's what it is. I love my TV dinners.
Fair. Okay. And so like Boxing Day, is that a special day for you? Do you do anything? Like I normally have like all my friends. So I normally have like family on Christmas, and then Boxing Day is like the friends, and we have like games and stuff. Do you do anything? Or
not really.
Do you actually have Boxing Day?
We do.
Yeah, we do.
But I don't really do much on Boxing Day.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. And plans for 2025. What do we need to look out for?
More great music, more vibes. I'm just going to drop the best rap music that I possibly can.
Talk to me about this EP first before we go into anything else. So I know it's about family and stuff, but what made you think, this is what the EP is going to be about?
So the EP before this was called Albion Road Demos. And after I made that, I was immediately presented with the question of what are you doing next? I didn't know. So I was really trying to figure it out at the time. And at the time, it was the first time that I was really moving around off this music thing.
Yeah.
And always on the road and people were listening, like people actually cared.
Yeah.
So I was actually spending a lot of time like not around my family, which I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
So then I just started writing this one verse on it and it just very organically came out. So I was just like, this must be what I want to tell next. And then 2 years later came this project.
Okay, 2 years.
2 years.
God, dear.
Locked in.
Okay, so what is it like promoting over in Canada as well? Like, is it slightly different, or what's the reception been like, and how do you go about making sure that everyone hears this piece of work they've been working on for so long?
It was, to me, I think my job as an artist isn't to just make music. My job is to create experiences. So I went about it that way. Like, as soon as the music was done, it was about packaging it in a way that people can really understand what I'm trying to tell them.
Yeah.
And aside from that, like, intimate listening parties here and there. I saw sold out a show in my city too.
Jeez, come on.
With a live band. That was cool. Yeah, man. And then the music has been great. The radio stations have been showing it love. It's just been...
Is it hard to get, like, radio play and stuff like that? Or not really?
A little bit, I guess. Like, depending on the person or how they go about it. But I've been very fortunate to have been shown a lot of love in that regard. Because
some people will say that if you're not mainstream or something like that, it's hard to get any person to support you unless you got the machine behind you. So what is it like where you're from? Like, do they show love to local artists, or is that not really what happens?
Here and there, I feel like some local artists would tell you it's really hard, which I think there's a lot of truth to that. But I feel like I got shown love by certain radio stations very early in my career, and I think that made it easier once my name started to get more out there in the city to actually still be shown love by some of the bigger guys.
I've just noticed your fingers.
Yes, the tattoos.
Hate and love.
Oh, yeah. My mom hated this life decision right here. Yep.
Yeah, I understand why. What made you do that?
It was actually for a concept for an album. Like I said, I'm a big movie fan, so I love Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee has inspired a lot of my musical choices.
Yeah. No, I get it, because I've got a tattoo on one of my arms of the Grim Reaper. My mom hates it. Yeah.
I hid it from my mom for a minute.
She hates it. She said, go and get an angel on the other arm to balance it out. So at least you've got hate and love. You've got the balance.
I got the balance going.
I don't have the balance. I'm way to one side. Okay, cool. So I almost said a minute ago, and I veered off topic, but 2025, what can we expect from you? What's your targets? What's your plans? What's going to happen?
More music. I think I really just want to get my music further out there. I want to hit newer markets. I'm loving being out here in the UK. I think I definitely want to be out here more than just this time.
Your first time?
This is my first time.
Okay.
This is my first time. It's been amazing. Definitely want to be out here a lot more. A lot of spaces in the US too. I really just want to branch my music out there.
Fair.
And I just want to drop more fire music for the world to hear.
It's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. And lastly, the most obvious question that I almost forgot to ask you, and I ask everybody: Thelonious. Where's that coming from?
It's actually my real name. I couldn't think of a cool rapper name, so I went with that. But I'm named after Thelonious Monk, because my dad was a keys player. Loved Thelonious Monk. Couldn't think of a cool rap name, so I was just like, let's just go with that.
Did you try, or you just didn't care?
I tried. My first rap name was Steady Progress. That was not great at all. I was just like, let's just not do that.
Yeah.
Then it was like Ill Rock or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? There was a couple more that I'm just not gonna continue sharing. And then I was like,
if you dig enough, you'll find.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Fair.